What's going on, everybody? It is podcast number 22. We have been on like a 2.5, 3 month hiatus. So several different reasons for that. There was a death in my family, and then I actually went away for work for about a month. So what have you been doing, David? We haven't even seen each other since probably the last podcast, have we?
Yeah, I've been just doing a bunch of nothing, really.
Growing a pretty sweet stash, though, for the viewers that can't see.
Trim it off, but it was getting a little too long.
We need to look into getting some GoPros, and we'll set one up this way, and then set one up your way too. But we need somebody that has the fancy editing skills, because I don't have them.
No, I don't either.
I tried it, and I've got all these lists of edits and stuff that I have on other videos. Yeah, it's just one of those things you have to like sit and make yourself do it for hours, and it's really difficult. Especially when you have a laptop from 1997, so it's like the first Acer laptop of all time. So
yeah, and when it was brand new, it probably wouldn't have been very great either.
Probably not. No, I had a really nice one for college, and then a really nice one after that, but they just kept going bad. You know how everything goes. Technology's gone in like a year. I mean,
I had like a Dell laptop, and it lasted all through high school and college.
Wow, yeah, that's impressive. But then they're like, oh wait, if we do that, then we're not going to sell any laptops anymore. So we're going to have to put like a bug that goes out in a year and a half or whatever.
Yeah, didn't Apple like get busted doing that with the iPods maybe or something like the first
they do the same thing with their Apple updates. Whenever you get an update, I mean, I just got one on my Samsung, and now my photos won't work. So like when I go to send you a photo on Facebook or something like that, it tells me the photos won't load. So I have to go find the photo and then share it that way instead of actually being able to share it through Facebook Messenger.
That's because you got an Android though.
But I've never had any problems with mine. I mean, I've had Androids for a long time now, and it's one of those things where it's kind of a trade-off. It depends on what you're looking for, what you want, what you have, what you're comfortable with. Because like when I was on my trip and somebody needed a picture, they're like, take it with your phone. Apple's pictures suck, and so I end up having to take a picture of my phone and share it.
Mine are always pretty good. I've had both. I've had the Galaxy and I've had iPhones. The worst one I've had was a Windows Phone.
Yeah, I heard that those weren't very good. I almost got one of those one time, but I ended up going with the S5 Active, and I had it for like 2 years, which may be the longest I've ever had any phone ever.
I had two Luminas. One was like a regular size phone, and then the other one was like a big giant, like almost like a mini tablet phone.
Yeah.
And they were both made out of plastic, indestructible. But I mean,
that's kind of one of those weird things where cell phones started out like, kind of big, and then they got smaller eventually to those like little chicken nugget flip phones, and now they're getting bigger again. It's weird.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I get, just the way they market it to try to sell more. 1 year it'll be just like fashion, whatever.
Yeah, it's just kind of the latest rage, and they get certain people to buy. I mean, I know people that, and I'm sure you do too, that get the new iPhone every year, just like clockwork. It's like, why do you need a new phone every year?
Yeah, I'm too poor to do that.
Me too. I mean, what are they, like $1,000 each now?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can kind of add it to your payment, but you're adding $20 or $30 a month, and you're paying.
It's ridiculous. No,
you're paying a lot more. And they're like, oh, but you can get insurance, and you get insurance on it, and
it doesn't cover anything.
Something breaks, and they're like, oh yeah, you only have a $350 deductible. What?
Anything about buying new Apple stuff? I don't know if it's still like this, but it was like if you had an issue with it, you couldn't just call their operator line. You had to like buy a whole like Apple Care to call to ask a question about a product they sold to you. It doesn't work right.
Well, I will say that my wife has actually had pretty good luck with her MacBook.
Yeah.
My youngest one had an accident with it, and they actually covered it and took care of it, and were gracious with that. So, I guess it kind of depends on who you get when you talk with the company, because I mean, you know how things go. You call in customer service line, you get one person, they're an asshole, and then the next person, they'll help you out and take care of you. So
yeah, I had that really going on at my house with stupid Time Warner. I know we talked about Time Warner before. I know that I talked about my hatred for Time Warner. I finally got rid of cable.
What do you have now?
I don't have it. I have Hulu and Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. I just use those.
I'm still clinging on to DirecTV, and there's like really no reason for me to anymore. I probably need to let it go.
Yeah, DirecTV. They started like my payments just like every month started going up and up, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, and then you'll call and be like, I'm gonna cancel, And they're like, "Oh no, wait! We got this brand new package for $65.99 that's got all the same channels that you got on it." And then like a year later, it's when the increases hit. Like I started paying $65.99 or whatever on my new package, and it's probably like 112 now, 115. So
that's still not bad. I think ours was like with the internet. It was before they went with AT&T and all that. It was like $300 a month or something for internet and satellite.
Yeah, my internet's not that bad.
But then I had like NFL package on top of it too.
Yeah,
so
that'll do it. That'll do it.
It's like $60 a month or something.
They get you that internet pack or the NFL package is like that crack. They're like, give you a little bit. Oh, we'll give you this for free, and then you watch Red Zone for a year, and you're like, I gotta get it again, and they're like, oh, it's only $4 million.
Yeah, and then the Red Zone part of it. That's like the second tier. Like if you buy just the basic NFL package, you don't get the Red Zone channel.
Oh no.
Yeah. So learned that the hard way too.
Yeah. Yep. So nothing cool's been going on.
Nothing cool at all. No.
You haven't? Have you been watching much baseball? So you got your Reds?
Yeah, I've been watching baseball pretty much every night. I haven't watched this series because they're getting stomped by the Pirates. I think the Reds have probably scored 4 runs in 3 games or something like that.
I pretty much, I think I might have given up on sports whenever I was. It's like one of those moments that I'll probably forget it someday, but one of those moments that I won't forget for a while. I was actually sitting on the couch at the lobby of the hotel, and everybody was meeting to go to dinner, and this guy walks down the hall and he goes, "Hey, DeMarcus Cousins just signed with the Warriors," and I was like, "Shut up." That's ridiculous. Don't be coming at me with that stuff. He's like, no, seriously. And they grabbed the remote and turned it over to ESPN. There it was. And I think you texted me right after that. And I think that might have broke me for sports. I don't know if I can ever get back in it again.
That doesn't really bother me. I think that it might even hurt the Warriors.
I don't think if they
you have the best team, you guys they can do everything. And they're fast, and then they just add DeMarcus Cousins and expect to be even better. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, but their one weakness was kind of inside.
Yeah.
And now they've
it didn't matter what kind of weakness they had, the way they play.
Yeah, I guess. I think somebody would have figured it out sooner or later. But now it's like there's really no chink in the armor. And, didn't they get Trevor Ariza too? So now they're shoring up their bench even more. I mean, if they lost a game this year, I mean, if somebody told me they're going to go 82-0, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they should have went 82-0 this year. I mean,
I don't know,
they're
man.
a team that they play when
they're
they
good.
have to.
They're good. And then LeBron, put himself in purgatory because, he's probably never going to play for the finals ever again. He's on the 4th or 5th best team in the West now.
But I think the Lakers team is better than the Cavs team he had, though.
I don't know. I mean, they're older,
Well, they got still the young core guys.
Yeah.
Like Ingram, Kuzma, and Ball.
Yeah, but Ball's terrible.
He finished second team all rookie this year, though. He's pretty
terrible.
Good. He just can't shoot the ball.
I told you he's a poor man's Rondo.
And they got Rondo.
Yeah, they got Rondo.
we need a
point
guard that doesn't score.
We're gonna have to start Rondo over you. And then you got LeBron, who usually touches the ball a lot. I don't know how that's going to work, man.
I don't know. That's their biggest weakness. It doesn't make sense why you would add Rondo when you have Ball, and Ball doesn't really score like Rondo. He's similar like Rondo. No, it's good.
Even if that team is better than the Cavs, he still put himself in a worse position because he's in the West. I mean, if the Cavs were in the West, it would be the same, kind of the same deal.
Yeah, that's like the East. Who do you think's going to win the East now? You think the Raptors or because you were on the Raptors before?
I don't think I can ever believe in the Raptors again. They're kind of one of those teams that just chokes. I mean, they got swept, right?
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. That there's just obviously some type of issue there. They got swept, and then what's his face won Coach of the Year, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but so you're kind of in the camp like me. You don't think Kawhi is that great?
I know. I think Kawhi's a really good player, but I think that there's something going on with that dude's head, and this shows that there's something going on. You're with the best organization. I mean, sure, Pop's kind of a whiny, gripey old dude, but you're with a really good organization with a winning, attitude, proven record. And you're going to wind yourself up to Toronto. I mean, it's going to be a year stop for him. He's probably going to end up going to the Lakers. But I mean, is he really in any better position with the Lakers than he would have been with the Spurs? I don't know.
Yeah, he'd be playing with LeBron, and then the Spurs. They don't really. Well, the Spurs are going to be decent. Now I think DeRozan's going to be better on the Spurs than he was on the Raptors. He's a guy that's always overlooked. I think him and Kawhi are more equal than.
I just
a lot of
think that
people
the
think.
biggest thing, I think DeRozan's obviously a better scorer, but I think Kawhi's an all around better player that plays
Plays way better defense.
way better defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if Kawhi does go to LA, who do you bump out of the starting lineup? You're going to have to bump one of your young core guys, and then you're going to risk whenever they come up for a contract, losing them somewhere else. I mean, is that really what you want to do, or do you want to build the
that's
guys
true.
that you drafted?
That's true. The Lakers, I think that their big goal is to get probably Anthony Davis next year. That would be it.
I mean, I still don't. I can't see if they add Kawhi and Anthony Davis, they may have a chance to win if they get a real point guard. But I don't know.
Yeah, he's only like 18, 19 years old. He's second all rookie team. If he gets a shot,
I think
which could happen,
he's
I
finishing
doubt
mostly
it.
on name alone.
Yeah.
But that being said, I was really high on gosh, I can't even think of the dude's name, Simmons for the Sixers, and then he gets in the playoffs and plays LeBron, and he disappears.
Yeah, but it was his quote rookie year though too.
But yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was hurt. I mean, I think that makes him a rookie. I personally do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't play a single game, I mean, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, he was a guy I didn't think would be that great because his LSU team wasn't really a really bad team in college, and they didn't even make the tournament. He didn't care about it, but
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't really defend that. I think that making kids go to college is pretty stupid
Yeah.
because you get that out of them.
he was like Australian. He could have went to like play Australian pro ball for a year. And
I know, but how many guys really make a big splash in the league after doing that? Don't
Yeah.
you think that the college system is a lot better set up to transition to the NBA? I mean, you're more of a household name in America. People know who you are. It's easier to probably get sponsors.
Yeah, name recognition wise, yeah, but I think that the development wise, it's a little different because the pace of the game and how they play, it's a lot different. Like you see really good college players do nothing in the NBA, and guys that you thought were pretty good, but you didn't think were really great that do awesome in the NBA. So I mean,
I guess though, if you look at it, the top 10 best players in the NBA, I mean, is there an international player even in that conversation? Maybe Porzingis when he's healthy.
yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
I mean, is that it though?
Well, let me think about this for a second. Yeah, that would probably be it. Because I'm trying to think if there's anybody in the top 10 in my top 10. No.
I mean,
Unless there's a Canadian or
so
something somewhere after.
that kind of lets me know that the U.S. college system may be the best. I mean, I don't know. Just maybe the guys with the less skills end up going overseas. That's the only thing I can figure out. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, so I kind of gave up on sports. I didn't watch any sports at all.
You didn't watch the All-Star game?
No.
I didn't watch the All-Star game or Home Run Derby because they're always boring.
But then I heard they were awesome.
Yeah, and then this year, the next morning, I'm hearing like Home Run Derby was awesome. So I was thinking about watching the All-Star game. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to invest all this time in a game that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
and then it went to. I didn't think they were allowed to go to extra innings anymore after that one year that they just.
I think that was just what's his face's decision.
Yeah, the guy with Bud Selig.
Yeah, Sealy.
Because they had that one. Do you remember that year when they went to was it 16 innings or something, and they had just position players pitching? They ran out
Right.
of guys that
Yeah,
could
I do
pitch.
remember that. And then they hit the record number of home runs this All-Star game too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of wish I would have watched the home run derby, but to be honest with you, I didn't even know it was on. I was at All-Star game or home run derby. What night was that? Monday, Tuesday?
I think the Home Run Derby was it on like a Friday or Saturday, and the All-Star game was on Sunday, or is it
Maybe
Sunday
that's right.
and Monday? I don't remember.
But I had drove back Thursday and Friday, so I drove back through Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska. Was it Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Illinois, or Illinois, Indiana, and then Kentucky. So I was like just completely drained. It was like 23, 24-hour drive. So
that
I
doesn't
was,
sound very fun.
yeah, the company couldn't fly me out there because the damage that was actually done to the vehicles that we were inspecting actually caused enough rental cars for there like to not be any.
Oh, okay.
So they couldn't fly us in. Plus, it let us be mobile with our company vehicle. So I drove in through Kansas, and it was a pretty boring drive. And so I was already up there, in Denver, and so it only cost like an hour or two to go the other way. And so I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be this way again. So I went through Wyoming, Nebraska. A lot better drive, a lot cooler places. So, but yeah, I'd like to maybe do a podcast talking about that because I got to see, Denver, several, national parks and stuff in Colorado. I went through Cheyenne, stopped in Omaha, went to where they had the College World Series. So several things. We might actually do the next podcast on that. Just kind of talk about my travels and stuff. And stopped at Columbine, which was I stopped at the physical school, and then I went to the memorial, and it was like one of the more moving things that I've ever done.
Yeah, they still have school at the school, don't they?
Yeah. Without going too much into it, they pretty much just remodeled it. I actually sent a picture to one of my friends, and he's like, well, it doesn't even look the same. He's like, he made the mention of like it even having different colors. And so apparently they just remodeled everything on the inside. They changed the colors of the school. When I was there in front of it, I actually wanted to go to the back of it because that's the view that they kept showing from the news, but I couldn't make myself because I kept seeing that body that was laying, I don't know if you remember it, but the body that was laying on the stairs that goes up to the school. It's like, I just can't go back there. And I told a lady that I was talking to out there, and she's like, oh, they changed all that. It's completely different. So, but it was just very eerie. I don't know that I've ever been to a place that's made me feel uncomfortable before. And that was definitely one of them. So just, it had such a big effect on our childhood, with all the dress codes and clear backpacks and mesh backpacks and all that stuff. So
they're still doing that now, aren't they? Or
I don't think they are.
yeah, I don't know if I ever noticed kids wearing dress codes.
Well, it went away. It went away when I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
But middle school had dress code. Going into high school had a dress code, and then like after my first or second year, they dropped the dress code.
Oh yeah, there wasn't any in high school, but like
there was at first.
Oh, when I was there, but
yeah, I think my freshman or sophomore year, and then after that they dropped it. And I think they still did the backpack thing though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's awful. I mean, in theory, it's a good idea for dress code, but it's not. It's not going to work. Just
like the Florida shooting, that kid wasn't even in school anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, I like to talk about all that stuff and kind of go through all the different things, just in case anybody's ever interested in visiting Colorado. Wasn't what I expected. That's all I'll kind of say without revealing too much. It was really a different place than what I expected for several different reasons. So, when I was at some point I was coming back, or I think it was when you were at Forcastle, and so I thought maybe we could talk about that a little bit since it's kind of it seems to be a bigger event now in Kentucky. So
yeah, I mean, we just went Saturday. We go just to Music Festival Surround or whatever, Megan and I do. So easier way to see more bands in one day than you would just going to different concerts.
So to explain a little bit, it's been going on since what, like 2002, something like that?
I'm not sure. We went last year. Maybe we went the year before, and then we went this year.
Yeah, I think in looking at it, it was like it's been going on since like the early 2000, maybe 2012. So I just read it before because I wanted to have a little bit of background experience, and that obviously didn't work out because I forgot the date. But it's been going on for several years now at this point, and it seems to be gaining steam. Like on their website, they've got like all these reviews from like Rolling Stone and Entertainment Magazine and all these bigger name places. I guess what concerned me, and I want to kind of see what your experience was with it, but it said like music, food, drinks, and activism, and I was like, activism? What? So to me, I was like, oh Lord, they're turning music like festivals into activism now. Explain to people what it was like for you, like what your experience
I
was?
think maybe the activism part. There's a lot of like recycling, like pro recycling stuff, and things like that.
Okay,
That's
that's
as
not
far
bad.
as I got from
That's
it.
not bad. I didn't know if
Yeah.
like there's because some of the bands that were on the list this year, they seem kind of is hipsterish
Well,
a term,
they like Forcastle's a little different from other ones because they have like every kind of music,
right?
and
And
that's
I can
kind of
tell
like the
that.
coolest part about going is like you get like every genre. And,
Did you go more than one day?
I just went one day this year, but I think last year maybe we went every day. I can't remember, but this year we didn't get to see like too many people. Saw Jimmy Eat World, Houndmouth, T-Pain, and Chris Stapleton was the last person to play, which we kind of left after a couple songs.
Yeah, I knew you weren't a big fan of Stapleton,
Yeah.
so I was gonna ask how that was.
It wasn't too bad, but he didn't really seem too into it. Like I think it took. He was supposed to go on like at 10. I think he went on like at 11 because he had some kind of audio issues or something. But
Hmm.
it was super packed, so I didn't. We were way in the back, so it didn't really matter to us anyways. Because Megan and I, neither of us are huge fans, so we just kind of left after the second song.
So, what was the overall experience like? Did you get to experience anything other than music? Did you try any of the food or any of the drinks? Or
Well, I usually get pretty drunk when I go.
so, did you partake this time? Or?
Yeah, I drink quite a few beers, which is this festival. They have a lot of festivals I go to. They have like nasty Miller Lite and shit like that. I don't like Miller Lite; it's gross. A lot of concerts have that.
There goes ever hopeful of
Yeah.
ever being sponsored by Miller Lite. Way to go there.
It tastes like backwash, but they had like PBR and.
They didn't have
Tastes like
local
beer.
stuff? Like, that
No.
seems like to me, like, like Fall City, obviously, local beer up there, something like that
Yeah.
would have stepped in and.
I went to one in Lexington the year before last, and this was like the worst like concert festival anything I've ever been to in my entire life.
In Lexington?
Yeah, like the headliner was Drive-By Truckers and like Trombone Shorty and here Manchester Orchestra, and it was packed and it was like 100-something degrees outside, and they had two beer booths open for like all these people, and then like towards the end of it they had one beer line left, but they had Kentucky Ale was one of the beers they had
Yeah,
there,
at least
which is
kinda
pretty
local,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they weren't prepared for that. I didn't go.
What about
back.
food? Did you try any good food while you were there?
Let's see. I got some gyros. I got some lamb
Kentucky
gyros.
favorite.
Yeah. I got some fried Oreos, and that's about it. It was really hot that day too, because I felt like I was gonna die for a little bit, and like we were watching Jimmy Eat World, and like I had probably drank like 5 or 6 beers at this point, and it was so hot. I felt like I was gonna die for like a half a second. And then like the breeze came through, and then the rest of the day was pretty nice. That's
Yeah,
like
it's right there on the river, right?
Yeah.
It's usually not
You
that
know
bad
where
there.
Joe's Crab Shack is?
Yeah.
Louisville?
Mhm.
It's that park right next to it.
Yeah, is it? So Forcastle is some like section of a ship, like where I guess all the crew gathered after their day and kind of had a party. Is there like any ship theme at all there, or is it just like a open park?
It's an open park.
Okay.
They got like they've got like this little park area in the back where like the younger kids go, and they have like DJs and stuff, and they're playing on like an old fiberglass boat. The DJs are set up on it. And they have that back there. So
That's kind of cool.
yeah, and then the Bill of Louisville's just like, right down.
Right.
Yeah, just right next to it. And Megan and I actually went to a concert on the Bill of Louisville last year after Forcastle, and it was pretty awesome. I'd never been there. So
Yeah,
it
I
was
haven't
cool.
either. Yeah, I haven't either. I was never so happy to see Louisville as I was this time when I came in through Indiana into
Yeah.
Louisville. The happiest by far that I've ever been to see that city, because just being gone for a month and coming back home and seeing all that, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. But I missed like the local favorites like L8 and comfort food. Wasn't a lot of comfort food out in Colorado. There was good food though.
There, like vegan food or something. But they have weed legalization, so I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's really good food.
Well, I was yeah, but I don't know if that goes hand in hand. So went to Colorado Springs first, and it's like a super conservative town, but they still have like medical marijuana there. And what I found to be a theme, and whether it's related to marijuana or just bad people, is that the service was terrible. Like everywhere we went, something was wrong with our food, something was wrong with our drinks. I mean, it was like clockwork. We're like, here we go. Like the first place we went all together, it was like a restaurant that they made out of an old airplane, like a C-130 or something like that. And so, like it was like one of those instances where he came and brought all the drinks, and we knew we were in trouble right away because we were all like switching drinks and just I got something simple that night. I got nachos with chicken and steak, and he brings it out. There's no steak, and he's like, "Oh, I can go help him make it." I'm like, "It's a steak. Like, how long is that going to take? Everybody else has got their food." So just a theme of that, and like. We tried to go to a lot of steak places that we didn't necessarily have back home. Went to Buckhorn Restaurant, which is like one of the older restaurants. I think it might be the oldest restaurant in Denver, and actually had bison and elk there. And it was really good. Had a queso dip with a rattlesnake in it, so that was different. So it's pretty much just like you have all of the chain places that you have back home, plus you have some of the cooler places like Buckhorn. We tried a Morton's steakhouse. It's supposed to be world famous. It was not good. Famous steakhouse in Colorado Springs was it was probably up there with Malone's as far as the best that I've ever had. So
what kind of cut of steak do you prefer?
Ribeye of late, but like at Famous, I got a ribeye. Most of everybody got a ribeye. Yeah. It was fantastic, and the older guy next to me got a filet, and it was like the best filet I ever had in my life. So it kind of made me regret getting a ribeye.
Well, you usually get it like rare, medium rare.
I get it like medium. I don't really prefer rare. I think that it's just kind of like everything else in life. Yeah, if somebody gets something medium well and then they like get chastised the rest of the night, I think that's the dumbest thing ever, because if I'm spending $50-something on a steak and I want to get it however I want, it's just a preference thing.
Well, I worked in a kitchen for a while, and
yeah, you're kind of chefy.
You frown upon people who pass medium.
See, my biggest problem with like when you get rare or even kind of on the lower end of medium is that the meat doesn't separate as well, and so it like people say that like when you get medium well that it's chewy. It's actually the other way for me. It's like it doesn't separate. It's just like.
It just depends on who's cooking it, because some people can't cook medium rare very good.
Yeah.
And like there's certain restaurants you go to, like chain restaurants, and you're not going to ever order medium rare there.
I get I really like a char on the outside. They call it like Pittsburgh style or something like that. That's kind of what I prefer. And
like the torch to the top, yeah.
Even if it gets more towards medium well, to me, as long as I have a char on the back, then I'm good with it. So, but yeah, I ate at a bunch of good places. Spent way too much money on food. Had some like good local pizza places and things like that. Went to a hole in the wall sushi place. Like, I don't want to like throw out any like little sections of stores that are in town, like that you would not go to a restaurant in. You know what I'm saying? Like a little strip mall, and you look at it and you're like, "There's no way I'd go to a restaurant there." But this is what it looked like. It was like across from like this big apartment building that's ran down. It's got a bar next door, and you're like, "Oh my god, what are we doing here?" And the guy's like, Yelp has it like 4.5, 5 stars. And I'm like, okay, well, we can go in and see. We go inside, and it's like really clean. There's not very many people there, but it was awesome food, like a little sushi place. So
yeah, it's so dangerous eating sushi anywhere. It's not like
I just got like avocado roll. I got a spicy avocado roll, a regular avocado roll, and some type of like chicken and noodles. I don't remember what it's called. But
yeah, I've learned my lesson a few times eating that, like the Chinese buffets that have like sushi sitting out.
Yeah, like gas station sushi or something like that.
That's got to be like probably my top biggest mistakes. But like I bet like Colorado, since like they legalized marijuana, there's a lot of pizza places and mostly Chinese buffets. That's what I imagine it being like. Like the Chinese buffet industry has probably exploded there.
I guess we were always on the kind of nicer end of town, so it was just all mostly chain stuff. Like,
okay.
I was really hoping that they had In-N-Out out there, and they didn't. And like when I looked it up, it's like In-N-Out coming at the end of 2018. I'm like, gosh, dang it! Like, just a couple months apart from being able to have In-N-Out because I haven't had it in like 4 or 5 years, and so.
Yeah, I've never been like far west as like. Land Between the Lakes, like Bowling Green. Like,
that's as far west?
Yeah.
Dude, we need to take a trip out there.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
You like against planes or something?
No. I don't mind planes. I used to be like deathly scared of flying.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think even my brother's been on a plane now.
When did he go on a plane?
Like the first of this year, the end of last year.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's all grown up now. So I was always like, it's statistically, pretty safe. When you're up there, sometimes you get turbulence or something that sucks, but
it saves so much time when you're
going
around. And
especially when you got kids,
and
you got to drive like 13 hours to Florida. Ugh, it's terrible.
Yeah, just because we just take one kid with us, and it's not too bad. She's not bad at all, but sometimes it can be. Yeah,
you get bickering. You get bickering and stuff when you get kids. Like, I don't know how people do it without iPads. Like, people don't understand how much better we have it as far as technology goes. Just hand the kid an iPad and be like, "Here, hush,"
Yeah.
So, but yeah, planes are always the way to go. But we should definitely go out somewhere west. I talked about In-N-Out like for a week straight, and a guy went. He lives in like Louisiana. He went back home through Texas and stopped at an In-N-Out. And when he stopped, he sent me a picture of it. I'm like, you dick! Like, why would you send that to me? So yeah, but anyway, so definitely the next podcast, talk about my ventures in Colorado and my experiences with the people and kind of my expectations on what I thought it would be like and. Stuff like that. And even might tell you a little bit about the dispensaries because did a little research on that just to see what that was like.
Just a little hands-on.
No, I didn't say hands-on. No, definitely did. I was on a business trip. So, but I did talk to the first waiter actually that was there that I talked about giving the terrible service. Yeah, he was very knowledgeable about it, and that's probably the reason that his service sucked because.
He said, "Boy, are you on that jazz cabbage?"
The devil's cabbage.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so I did a little bit of research about that, and we'll kind of talk about that on the next podcast, and probably hit some more kind of current events, and I think we're gonna try something new out where David finds like weird headlines, and we're gonna talk about those. So. Maybe try that next time. So, you got anything else to add there, Dave?
No, we need to plan the podcast with Jerry again. Football coming up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pretty quick. Maybe we could do, if anybody's interested, we could do a fantasy league with everybody.
Yeah, I've been talking to you about doing a dynasty league for a while, and he's actually wanting to start another one up, so we might actually end up doing it with him.
Yeah, if we could do dynasty league, maybe get just people that listen to this if you want to join.
He like texted me about it, and I'm like, dude, I don't have time to think about a dynasty league. I was working like 12, 13-hour days.
Yeah.
And I was really bad about sending texts. Like I would just send you one like, I miss you, smiley face, or whatever, every now and then. But so definitely gonna do that here coming up probably pretty soon because it's like 40, 50 days till the NFL season starts, right?
It's coming up pretty quick. I'm getting pretty excited for it.
I don't know. I don't know if I can get excited for it or not.
Yeah, because Andrew Luck's gonna suck again.
No, he's not gonna suck. Dude, you need to follow that Twitter account, the Captain Andrew Luck, where he like writes to his mom and like Civil War terminology. It's fantastic.
He was throwing like a kids football a couple weeks ago to some little kids and stuff.
He has no restrictions on the camp.
Yes, he could be back. I don't know.
I saw him throwing real footballs for like the drills and stuff in the mini camp. But I just think he did a lot of that just like tongue in cheek, like just throwing kids footballs and stuff to mess with people. So, but yeah. So, we appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you follow our social media pages. What's your Instagram handle now? You
I
changed
don't
it.
You can find me on there.
Yeah, KY Blockbuster 7 for me, and then of course at Double Access Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to that page. Haven't looked at it in a while. Probably need to get back on that. So, but yeah, we'll try to do a little bit better. We're gonna try to get you to a different platform where it's just streaming only for audio, and we're gonna try to be better podcasters. But we're just kind of learning here. We don't have the money and the funding behind us that a lot of people do, but we're trying to learn and give the best content that we can, and also try to have some people on that we think is pretty interesting. So, but we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you for podcast 23, where we talk about my adventures through Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming, whatever. So, but appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time.